Hi, Jody. Jody's just chatted to us.
Oh.
The screen is getting full.
Okay.
Maybe I should have put lipstick on.
Well, that's what you want me to play some music?
Well, tomorrow when people come on to Minion, they're going to hear and see a really good video.
Violet, hello.
Who's saying hi?
I'm saying hi to Violet Hoffman, who I haven't seen in 100
We see Violet on Minion.
Yeah,
all the
everyone.
time.
Hello.
Yeah, come to Minion, you'll see Violet.
Yeah, we see her all the time.
Don't. I'm so happy to see you.
It's good to see everybody.
You too.
Boy, this is a full-time job admitting everybody.
Well, you can just hit it mid-all.
That's true.
I just turned off the waiting room so everybody can come in.
Oh, now people just come right in. Thank you,
Yeah.
Nancy.
Great.
Oh, I didn't know you could turn off the waiting room.
Nancy knows all sorts of nifty things, right?
Yeah,
Nancy?
I didn't know that you could turn it off. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're up to 57. That's pretty good.
Sure is.
And it's not even 6:30 yet.
Yeah, I'm just we're checking.
Oh, it's really not. Wow.
No, it's not.
Everybody can see that, right? We can all
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What happens if I do this?
It's very boring.
No. What happens if I You can
We
see
would
You,
rather-
do that, you can see it. It's a little bit smaller.
it's smaller?
It's like,
It's
Is it
big enough.
it's still big enough, but it's,
Oh, well, that's okay. I was just checking.
but we're not going to have the slideshow on at the very beginning.
Yeah, not yet.
No, I was just checking it out.
Great. But it works.
Wow, we have 3 screens, folks. This is so
I know.
exciting.
Isn't it cool?
Thank you all so much for this last minute meeting. We really appreciate
Right,
it.
I can actually see it.
They can see me or not.
I can see everybody at one shot. That's what happens when you have a giant monitor. Okay.
69. That's a record.
Yeah. Okay, this is great. Thank you, everyone. Okay, I can see everyone. Okay.
Somebody's got a radio or TV on.
Yeah.
Well, we'll tell
We'll ask everyone to
in a
mute when we
minute.
start.
That's
Yeah.
not a problem at the moment. In the meantime, we can listen to somebody's show. If it's something good.
Oh, there's Stan. I recognize Stan. Okay. Hey. I recognize. Stan, you were the first person in.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, he gets the award. First person in. Sometimes you can't remember everybody from their name until you see their face, Yeah.
How is your foot, Lynn?
Oh, much better. I go to go to the doctor on the 22nd, and I'm hoping the boot's off. We've been doing visualization healing.
Good luck.
I do. Because they were telling me it could be another 3 weeks. I said, no, not another 3 weeks. So, all right.
We're at 6:31.
Should we start?
95.
Wow. I say let's
have
start.
everyone mute. Let's have everyone mute, please.
Oh, you better put the TV down.
No, yeah, hold on. I'll just mute everyone.
Great. Thanks, Nance. All right, friends, Erev Tov. So good to see everyone. Thank you. This tells us you care so deeply about Darchi Noam. So let's just take a moment, right? 97 screens here. We use the word critical. This means this is a critical response and people are coming because they are invested in this community and we're so grateful. And I want everyone to take a deep breath. This is good news. We tried to express that in the email, but I know there was some anxiety. We have exciting, transformative news to share with you today. Our entire leadership team is excited about it. This is really the next stage in Darchi Noam's development. We all feel this is a great opportunity, so we're going to run through it. We're going to make sure Lynn put together a beautiful slideshow. We're so grateful to Lynn Krause for her amazing leadership. Really has been steering the ship beautifully with such wisdom and compassion and curiosity and just beautiful modeling of all of these Jewish values. I just want to say that I think there's no such thing as coincidences. We picked this date a little bit last minute, and where are we? We are on the first day of the week of Netzach. We are counting the Omer right now, 49 days from Pesach to Shavuot. Each week has a different quality that we're supposed to engage with, that's supposed to help bring awareness that we can heal and we can be guided forward into fullness and abundance. And we're coming to the end of the first day. We're kicking off this week of Netzach. What is Netzach? Netzach is eternity. It is endurance, and it is vision. So tonight you are going to learn about our next stage of Darchi Noam's vision that we're so excited about. And we want everyone here who is going to be part of this unfolding and to really be involved in the dialogue. That's why we're having this meeting, so we can engage you in all the aspects of the process. And really just so grateful to be together. Hine ma tov. I'm going to pass it over to Hazan so we can take a deep breath and really take in the gratitude. Hine ma tov, how good it is to gather together. She's going to lead us. Please sing along at home, but remain muted. And then Lynn will start the slides.
Wait, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but before we do, people are no longer able to get in because we are at the max capacity of 100 participants.
No. Because of really? Oh, no.
Yeah.
We never thought of that.
We've never had that problem before. Is
Never.
that the case for my personal Zoom account too? Would be the same for everybody's?
How about on a business account?
You're not going to solve that problem.
Business accounts can be up to 500.
I have a bit.
We can't.
We could put it in the link.
If there's anybody like two people in the same house, we're using different screens. You could share one screen. If we could maybe open a few more up that way.
Let's see, congregants.
I am going to close my windows so someone else can get in.
RVW, can we upgrade right now, you think? Right now to the higher.
Or if you're recording this, just send out the recording to everybody who can't get into it.
Okay.
One question.
But this is interactive.
Now,
though.
people are going to be very upset if they try to do it.
Right, because this
Can
is
people
big news.
phone in?
People are going to be very upset if everybody has to log off and try to start logging back into a new login and checking their emails and doing all of that and taking like a half an hour trying to get it organized. I'm just saying.
not
Exactly
saying
what's going to happen if we try to get off this one and get onto a different account, and that is the only way to increase the number, because the number of participants is linked to the account. So as long as you're logged on with this Zoom,
Right.
that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's recorded,
so they can hear
another time.
I think Nancy, can you send an email blast out to the congregation, just letting them know we've hit Zoom capacity and we'll be recording the meeting?
But Nancy,
Yes, I'm actually working on that right now.
Okay, thanks.
How many people can't get in?
Several. I have several emails.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess, okay. Well, we have to, yeah, I'm going to check from now on what my,
maybe people can call in. Is there a call in on the thing? Or call somebody else in the congregation and listen. That would only be my other suggestion. That's all. All right, we didn't foresee this happening. This is real life, so let's just
Okay.
go on, and we've done our best. Thank you.
What, Nancy, what I think we should do, just, if you can just have, if we know who didn't get in, we can do some kind of mini thing with them where they do get to give
No,
us
it's
some
not.
feedback. I think
No problem. I think,
That's
yeah,
what
no
we'll do.
problem.
That's the
If
best
there-
thing.
Then if there is a call-in number, while Khazan is speaking, if there is a call-in number, if you could send that to me, I'd appreciate it.
What's the
The
call?
invitation.
Oh, I didn't do the invitation.
Somebody just said that the call-in is gonna be linked to the same maximum.
We're gonna move on
No
so we
problem.
can honor our time.
Yeah, move on.
here.
I'm just gonna send
yeah.
out an email.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll make sure that if it's not all everybody, it'll be me and a few people. We'll dialogue with the people individually. Because when you'll see what we're going to talk to you about today, you're all going to want to have a say in it. So that's why it's important for us to make sure we,
Lynn,
yeah, go ahead.
Lynn, just to let you know, Jody went off. So she's at home. She went off. So there's one open slot.
Oh,
and I'll give her the information.
Someone just texted me that they just got in, so they probably.
Yeah, because I see we're
Thank
at
you,
100.
Jody.
Perfect.
We have
Okay.
many people trying to get on,
Okay.
so it's,
So
I think we should just move forward.
when you write the email out, say we have a recording, but we're also going to do another Zoom with them. Okay. And Hazan's going to give us a little rendition here.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Lynn, make sure to unmute. You're still muted.
Lynn, unmute.
I thought I unmuted. Okay, I'm unmuted again. Okay, so we're going to thank you for that welcoming song, and we're going to jump right into our presentation, which is short, and we'll be breaking it up. It's like 7 slides. It's not a lot, so I don't want people to think they're seeing a 30 thing. Okay, so here I'm sharing screen for everybody. Okay, so the first thing that we want to just tell you about is what's our State of the Union, and here it is. We are thriving. We're in our 3rd year of existence. We're a dynamic, growing congregation with a bright future. So here's the numbers for people who don't know. We have 35 member units. People keep joining every day. We had a bat mitzvah, and we had one of the family members come up and say she wants to be a member. I mean, just people are joining every day. The shul school has 108 kids, with more families coming every day saying they're interested. Our Team Chayin and Madrachim program has 39 teens, and I can tell you, I don't think there's a synagogue that'll match that. We're financially stable. So we're not in any kind of deficit, but we're not what we call right-sized financed as of yet. And what does that mean? Our staff, our clergy, maintenance people that we sometimes have and sometimes don't have are not paid at market rate. So although where we are now, we're okay, but it's not really right. So, okay, and we've increased the number of our successful social and educational programs, thanks to all our chairs and volunteers. And the programs have been so successful that we sell out based on capacity. and of course our clergy, Rabbi Danielle and Kazan, have increased the number of successful workshop related experiences. So let me go to our next slide here. Oops, sorry. Here is our leadership team. And our leadership team, and I use that word leadership team because we made a major change from the governance structure that we started with. We used to have a board of like 5, one time 6 people who were really the ones who made all the decisions, did everything. We pulled in our staff people and the ritual chairs that were involved in the biggest bulk of the synagogue with members. And this is our leadership team, and they put a lot of time in. We have a lot of meetings, and we have to read a lot of stuff that we're writing back and forth. But all decisions that are made by this group of people. Just so you know, we're all involved in it. We all have say in it, and one isn't more important than the other. We're there to hear everybody because they all come with different perspective. So that's our team. Now, I just want to talk to you really quick on building usage. The building is used mainly on Tuesdays and Sundays for Shul School and for Team Chaim. It's used frequently, obviously, Friday and Saturday for services. We usually have one or the other unless it's a B'nai Mitzvah. Thursday evenings are for choir rehearsal. Thursday evenings and afternoons, Hazan is having B'nai Mitzvah lessons. It's used frequently Wednesday afternoon for B'nai Mitzvah rehearsals. And it's used occasionally when we have special programs on a weekday night or evening, which we had this month on, a Monday night. Our shul administration and our clergy-led classes are all administered remotely. And for those people who call on our number, the reason no one ever picks it up and you always get voicemails because we are working remotely, but we get back to everybody immediately because we know you called. All the pastoral care is primarily off-site, some on, but that's what, so why do I want to talk to you about building data usage? Because we realize there's really a significant amount of unused time in the building. So I'm going to have Rabbi Danielle kind of give you a little background on why you're here and what started this whole thing. Let me stop sharing here. Okay, go ahead.
Thanks so much, Lynn. I know everyone's on pins and needles. So there's a congregation that is looking for a new home. It is Kol Ami. It is a small congregation that has been situated in Elkins Park. They have very similar values to us. They are profoundly inclusive. They are chimisha. They are warm and welcoming, and their spirit and their ruach really aligns beautifully with our congregation. Their presidents approached us 10 months ago. We've been in conversation after conversation after conversation. They are looking for a new home, but we do not want to jump into a true partnership because we want to be wise and discerning. So we're going to live together before we get married, and we are welcoming them into our space. And we are going to offer some joint programming and some joint services. We see so much benefit to this. Now this is the part that's critical. We want everyone to be part, whomever wants to, in these conversations that are going to be critical conversations that take place over the next year as to whether we move forward with a full union or not, and what that might look like. And that cannot happen overnight. We want to really be wise. We want to be skillful. We want to be slow and steady wins the race. So if you want to be part of these critical conversations, please reach out to us. We'll be putting together multiple committees, multiple task force. And I'm going to pass it over to Lynn so that she can answer a lot more questions about what this next year will look like and potentially what the following year will look like as well. And then we're going to think about questions.
Yeah.
So all your questions at that point.
So one of the years in the year ahead, as Rabbi Danielle said, we spent 10 months, and when we say discussion, we're talking a lot. We even had a night at Gloria's house with people from Colony. We've been in so many discussions, and it originally started with just Rabbi Danielle and myself, and then we brought all our leadership people into it. So it was really discussion, throwing out things, maybe disagreeing, um, and then coming up with something saying, yeah, we might want to do this. And we were still back and forth for a while. So, but everything moved along really well. So, why we thought it was great opportunity for growth, both spiritually and financially. And that's consistent with our vision and our history and our ruach of spirit at Darkei Noam. And the leadership team did agree to move forward with this. So we're beginning July 1. KA is, call me, that's KA, is sharing our facility. And here's the big part, we're getting a reimbursement for the use of that facility. And the reimbursement money is something that we can use to bring our staff clergy up to a more normal level of salary and be able to hire maintenance people. And so the other thing that's very important to note is that they're going to be utilizing our space. We're still two independent congregations. We want to engage in a few joint things because we thought that would be fun and interesting, and it would be a way to get to know each other. And the way we set it up is that we are invited to all their stuff and they are invited to all our stuff. And they have a lot of programs themselves. Call Me has Cantor Rebecca Schwartz, who is a friend of Hazan's. And with Rebecca Schwartz, lay people are leading their services. You're probably going to recognize the name of Rebecca Schwartz because Hazan says, oh, we're going to sing a Rebecca Schwartz melody, which we do many times at our services. Rabbi Danielle will be the only rabbi at the synagogue. They did have a rabbi who they had kind of let go because they didn't want to bring another rabbi. And she'll assist because there's some life cycle events. Rabbi Danielle will assist with that. And what happens is Kolami is compensating Darkei Noam for that monthly, regardless of how much she assists with or not. We're getting a standard kind of fee in there. So this was important for everyone to know because that you get a sense of where we're going. Now, here's our benefits from this collaboration. As far as I'm concerned, it's a win-win. I mean, because we're having a whole year to examine, do we want to go to what we have some vision of the next step, but increased income from use of the facility agreement. And we're talking about a big chunk of money, and synagogue improvements because they have a lot of stuff that they will bring to us. Beautiful Torah reading table, chairs, a number of other things. More opportunities for Shabbat services and increased participation because they will be having Shabbat services on days that we don't. And but their people enjoyed our service, so they may come to ours. We may go to theirs Friday night as well. We're going to be holding services at which we always do at 6 o'clock. And unless it's a special one with a dinner or something, they will be having services at 7:30. More opportunities for musical programs, and their community is very much focused, their shul is very much focused on community service and tikkun olam, which, that's looking at how can we help the world. And that may appeal to some of our congregants where we're so concentrated on getting things done and just moving forward that we haven't had as much time to explore that aspect. And so we are free to participate or join any of their committees if we wish. Their rabbi emeritus, Elliot Holland, is like Hazan and the rabbi met and spoke with him. He's an amazing man. And we're hoping that possibly he could provide some adult ed programs, because that's what he wants to do. He just wants to teach now. He doesn't want to be a pulpit rabbi. More people to volunteer, because as we said, they can volunteer in our stuff, we can volunteer in their stuff. And they bring a great expertise because their synagogue has been in existence, I think they said 30 years. They started the same way we started. They felt they had to leave where they were and make something new that seemed to fit their spirit, their vision, and their values. Very much like us. Same story, only ours is 30 years later. And so they've had a lot of expertise in dealing with a whole lot of things, which we're glad to have some of that knowledge, just people to talk to about it. So that is our benefits from collaboration. Now, let me just give you a real quick.
Can I just chime in for
Go
one
ahead,
second?
chime in. Go.
I just want to mention they are dissolving their shul school. They only have 13 students, so
Right.
their school is 100% dissolving, and they are
Nice.
recommending for
Oh.
those 13 students to attend Dar Chinom, which we'd be thrilled. We have no conflicts for B'nai Mitzvah, which was
Right,
just serendipity,
And-
and so. And
Sorry.
people are asking about the size of Kolomi. Right now, there are 100 member units. That's if 100% of them decide to
Yeah,
move forward with this endeavor.
Yeah, and their shul school, I'm sorry, thank you, because I skipped that. Their shul school, I mean, their shul is paying for their people to actually go to our shul school, which is a kind of a beautiful thing. So, okay. Now, here's the road ahead. We're right now, we're to the next year collaboration, but what we plan to do from the time that they get here is to set up a whole lot of different committees. There'll be not giant, small, to look at governance, ritual, social programming, all kind, so that we want to get into dialogue to see if in fact we can co-create, which is what we like to use the term, to say, here is something exciting and new. We're not looking to merge synagogues like that. We are looking to create something new from the strengths and everything that our two areas could have. And if we see that, we move ahead. So this is just to let you know how moving ahead would be. We would take a whole year, and we're talking about spiritual exploration, and notice the word compassion. We're not here to fight with people. We're here to dialogue and see how we agree and what kinds of great ideas we have. And think of year one as the opportunity to get to know each other, their staff, clergy, members, values, beliefs, services, programming, and get that feel before we decide to join forces, or we're using the word blend to create something new. And if not, we just move in another direction, which could be they go wherever they're going, we do whatever we want to do. And it could be we just evolve to something different. We don't know. We want you to think about, this is a great opportunity to really shape something that's going to be just fabulously creative. And so that's what we're looking for. And if you want to be involved in it, just, we'll send something out just so we have a list of people who want to be involved, because the date when you'd start seeing them would be July 1. And we want to get our talks to start to roll right around. Steve, we're going to try to take questions at the end. We have a structure, if that's okay. Yeah, don't forget your questions.
There's a lot of questions in the chat that we also.
And we're going to ask everybody to hold your questions because we have a structure, and we'll explain that next. But anyway, okay. And we hope we will find that blending the congregations into something new will offer great possibilities worth the challenge. And here, KI, calling me, because if we decide to have a merge, or I don't like you blend to something new, we're going to say, well, our facilities aren't big enough. And we knew that all along. So we were exploring, and with the Sons of Italy, who we rent from, our second floor auditorium, which is a giant place that would just allow for the most fabulous kinds of things to be done. Having your bar mitzvahs here with kitchen, everything. I mean, it's got a possible garden place. And so the money involved would be huge. So that's why if that happens, KA is there to provide some of that financial support, probably most of that financial support. And let me say, they're a synagogue that has fewer members right now. They're dwindling by a lot of money. And we have a lot of members. And we need to expand because we're going to continue to grow regardless of what would happen. So, and the last thing, just so everybody is clear, Rabbi Danielle and Hazan Unger are the primary clergy. They're going nowhere. We're not, even if we have a blend, they're still going nowhere. They're our primary clergy. And if we decide to blend the first year of a blended year on our new, we are not even sure what we're calling it yet. The first year of our blended congregation, all the officers who are DN officers, they would all continue to serve as officers with just creating a vice president slot and putting a column me there. And then what would be discussed is, what does the structure look like? And for those that have been working on it, we don't want an old structure. We want to create what we have here, but even expand it more. That's what we're really after. We're breaking down all the structural stuff, just like we have our leadership team, and we want to create this new kind of structure. And that's what the year's for, to see if we agree. And it only works is if we have people in our congregation who are willing to participate in that. Now, I just have one last thing, and then what we're doing before the questions, I know you have a lot of questions. This is what we're doing. We're doing a little group thing for 8 minutes where we'd like the groups to generate out any hopes or fears that they have after having heard this. And we just want somebody to get it down so we can hear that in group. That will tell us where people's issues are, or their things that they like, and we will respond to some of that. Then we have the whole end section is for individual questions. And we will be having more discussion all the time. We'll call as many meetings as you want. And when you see me in services or we're having coffee afterwards, we can discuss it. Every single person in our leadership team wants to discuss this with people. And because we've already discussed it a lot. So, okay, let me just show you my last thing before we go. And wait, that's right. This is it's called the Japanese art of kintsugi. And really, Japanese artists, what they'll do is they'll create this bowl that's gorgeous, a beautiful, beautiful bowl. And then they'll shatter it, they'll break it. And then they take all the pieces and put it back together using gold filament. And what they get is an object that is so much more beautiful, stronger, resilient after it's been broken and put back together. So if you can think of that metaphor, that's how I think about the future, that we're going to be this most beautiful, unique, strong, resilient, shul that we couldn't have even dreamed about. So That's it. That's the slide presentation. Let me stop sharing, put everybody back. I know you all have a zillion questions, but we're floating you in your groups because it's really important. Because we could never talk to all 800 of you in once. So you need to we're giving you 8 minutes. Just talk about any hopes or fears that you have. And let me see, where's the groups? Okay, I'm sending you, okay? Because as you see, we're trying to respect time. And we're also trying to make sure that we have plenty of time after this for individual questions. And you can throw out the questions that you had for us to that group you're with. Okay, there we go.
Lynn, should the leadership team not go in the breakout room?
Yeah, unless you want to, but you don't have to. Yeah, I made 10 rooms, so, because we have 100 people. Okay. And for
Do
those
you guys want me to go to a room?
Yeah, for those that it never did. Oh, Josh, you should go to a room because you heard it for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could help.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so for all those, if you've never done this, it should say join and you just click join and that's how you get there. See, I did that pretty fast, right?
That was great, Lynn.
Yeah, I
Yashikov.
tried to do it fast. Yeah.
We have a lot of questions, not a lot. We have some
Right.
questions in the Zoom.
Well, we'll see when they come back. We'll have more. Yeah. Okay, so we have some of our people are still here. Let's see.
Some people may decide not to go in the breakout,
That's
which is
okay.
okay.
But you might, you will find you really get to share much better if you go in your rooms. Oh. Okay, let me look at 30 chat things. Wow. Nancy, oh, listen, this gets recorded. I don't think you can stop and start the recording.
That's fine.
Is that okay?
The
Yeah.
breakout rooms won't be recorded though.
No, they're not recorded. So I'm just looking at all the.
So question about affiliation, question about space.
Oh, I know. I
let me-
didn't. Oh, yeah. What I was wanted to let them talk before I talked about what their affiliate.
When we get to the end, guys, then everybody comes back. Do you want me to just read out the chat questions?
We'll let them do their little report, and then we should. Yeah.
Oh, we're
then
gonna have them report. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we want to know what they were so that we get.
Yeah, and then you should definitely read out the questions
Yeah.
so we can answer them
Yeah.
directly. For
Mhm,
sure.
But
Just
they
let me know. Let me know when you're ready for the questions, and I can read them out, so that we make sure we get all of what everybody's been thinking about while they've been going through this. I'm trying to get Jen Jacobs to come
look,
in right now
somebody
because they're
said
down.
they expected a clergy or other leadership major change. Yeah, that's why
Yeah, some
I think
people are afraid
thought
that
we
one of
were
us was
leaving.
leaving.
Yeah,
People were imagining all sorts of things.
yeah, but
We'll
Nancy,
address
I did
everything.
reach out to Jen already when I saw we were down to 99. I told her to try to get in again, but I don't know what happened. Then we were down to 98 participants, and I know Wendy Lebowski wanted to.
Oh, Jen Jacobs.
Hold on. People are saying they can still hear us in the breakout rooms. I have never heard of that.
I never heard of that either. Okay.
So we shouldn't talk.
Oh, Scott said not now, but before. Okay, I
Oh.
think it's fine.
Oh, that's
So anyway, Wendy Lebowski was able to get in. I don't know why Jen wasn't able to, because I did tell her there was, we were down.
Okay, Ben.
She might have stepped away though.
Yeah.
She might not even have
just
it.
got in. Are we done and everybody's leaving?
No,
or?
everybody's in.
No, we went to breakout rooms. They'll be back in 5 minutes.
Well, you want to
Okay.
fill?
You want to go to the
tight.
breakout room?
Don't
Well,
go away.
I don't even know what the subject of the meeting is.
Yeah, he
so-
doesn't know what's going on. Why
Oh,
don't you?
right.
Can you give him a
Let's
short?
let that hang out.
summary? Well, can
What's going on?
Rabbi or Lynn? Why does
Yeah,
short?
sure. So Kola Me, which is a small congregation in Elkins Park, is looking for a new home. And we are going to begin sharing our space as of July 1st. And then we're going to spend the year dialoguing with them and
Possible
inviting
merger.
them to our programs and vice versa, and see if there's a potential union that's going to be wise for both congregations.
Okay.
They do not have a rabbi. They have a amazing cantor, Rebecca Schwartz, and they're dissolving their school. It only have 13 students, so those 13 students hopefully will be coming to our school.
And how
seems
big is their
a lot of-
congregation overall?
About
Say it
100.
again.
How big is their congregation overall?
100 member units if they all come.
Okay.
So,
And
Well,
it would
that was
have, a lot of
fine.
it would have to do with where they live, I guess, how
yeah.
far.
Oh, I
So-
don't know. I used to drive 35, 40 minutes to get to a synagogue. You have a good community and you go where they are. So
Mhm.
That's what we hope. We hope that will be the case. And then we're talking about that hopefully within the year, if we decide to move forward with this union, then we would renovate the second floor of the Sons of
Mhm.
Italy. So we'd be able to double our space,
Yeah,
which would be
'cause,
very exciting.
Yeah, Colony is willing to, if we decide
They
to
have a
move
nice amount of
a lot of
money in
money,
the
yeah,
capital. Yeah.
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
And Nancy's got a nice cat there that's walking in front of the computer.
Yeah, so
Okay,
that's
but
basically,
that was kind of what I expected actually. When I saw the meeting announcement, I was like, okay, it's got to be a merger. It's the only thing they call
but
overtime.
we don't, it's not, we don't want to merge, actually. We don't
Well,
want this, we want to
We want to
create
create something new,
different.
really.
We're going to create something different. Because,
well, mergers always create something different. It's the
well,
same.
no, this is really different because
Yeah.
both synagogues, because they're kind of very visionary, don't want the same thing. And we're talking about, we have Reform and we're not affiliated, but so
Mhm.
the merge, we like
Well,
blend has to create.
But I think the most important thing is that we're spending the first year actually just getting to know each other. There's
Yep.
no union whatsoever in the first year. They're
Yep.
actually renting space from us first,
Yeah.
Okay.
so
Well,
that we can kind of get to know them
Right.
and
makes
see,
sense.
and they can get to know us and see if it's
Yeah, and
worth,
we met a ton. We met all. We
if
met
it's
all
worth
their.
exploring.
Yeah, we met
So how
all.
does that going to work with Saturday morning services?
We have primary use of Saturday morning,
but
we don't, as you know, we don't have every Saturday morning. So any Saturday morning session, they're welcome to. And then when we are scheduled, they can join us if they wish to.
If they wish, yeah. And we can join.
But it would still be Rabbi Danielle and I leading. It wouldn't be somebody else.
Yeah, we're not, yeah. And even
How are
if,
we doing on time, guys?
oh, I didn't even, we
Can you
sent
bring them back in soon, Lynn?
Yeah,
We gotta watch the time.
Let's bring everyone in.
Let's
Yeah.
bring
I
them
don't
back.
wait a minute, I give a 5-minute warning. You always give
No,
like.
you can't do 5 minutes. Do
Give them
1 minute.
3 minutes.
Give a 2-minute warning.
Yeah, just give them a short one.
Call it like football, 2-minute warning.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it's been the time. I would just
No,
give
it hasn't been, because I looked at let me just give him a 2-minute warning.
2 minutes.
Because it's not good to just cut them off. Okay. Broadcast. Okay. I gave him the 2-minute.
When people bring back their
yeah, their hopes and fears.
Their hopes and dreams. My guess is there's probably going to be
a lot of questions in them.
A lot of questions,
and
but
we're
maybe
going
we
to
should
address
just
those first. Yeah, because they're going to come up with a lot. Yes, before we read questions out of the chat, we're going to address what they're coming back with.
Any questions that come up as they present, we'll answer.
Right, we're going to answer.
Well, that's what I was going to. I'm sorry. That's what I was going to ask. Are
We're
we
not
doing
going to
it while
defer
they
the
speak?
questions again like we did.
I
before.
noticed some of our team went into the rooms. That's
we lost all the other.
But that's okay. That's okay.
The other community.
Gloria went into. She probably wants to hear. Okay, that's fine. There's not all that.
We also have Amy went in and David went in. It's good. Hopefully they're all in different groups though. Hopefully.
Well, they could have joined. Oh, it would have been wherever they got put. It's random.
Right. So we didn't have control over that, but.
Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, we have another minute and then we'll bring them back.
This is, Lynn, this is quite the turnout though.
I
Whoever
know.
thought we would run out of space.
We are so, I can't believe none of us thought about the cap.
I had no idea there was one.
What is the cap?
100. That, I don't know if that's the cap on mine, because I have the business
But it
member.
doesn't matter. I kept fighting to use this link. It's my fault because I was so.
No, but I don't think, I probably don't have more than 100 either.
I think you have to upgrade it, you
Yeah,
know.
because what a lot of
Yeah.
synagogues do when they know they're over a certain amount, they stream, but then you can have no interaction. When you stream, there's no interaction. You can't.
I have a Zoom link through Temple University that I could have set up. If I known ahead, we've had 500-600 people, and so
Oh.
I could have set one up for it.
Oh, you get
Well,
500?
We'll think
I've
about it
had
for the
that
next
many.
big meeting.
No, Temple University is a big place. Sometimes our classes get quite big, so we can't.
Yeah,
You know,
I know.
100 people won't cut
I
it.
know. I was there for 22 years.
Yeah.
Lynn, you might want either Nancy or Josh to look into it because especially
Yeah.
if we're involving Column with our
Yeah,
numbers. and
that's
we would
true.
definitely
We have to,
up
yeah.
it. I think you should let everyone back now.
Yeah,
okay?
let's let him back.
Yeah. close
Rabbi
one.
and I are getting spilkas here.
Oh my God. We're doing good though. I rushed because we delayed in the beginning because we had that problem. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Here they come. Everybody's back. Kisugi. I wanted to make sure I said it right. Kisugi.
I think that sounded good to me.
Kintsugi. Yeah, it is. I went and heard the how they say it. I did that where you hear how they say it.
That was nice. All your graphics are great, Lynn. Really,
Oh,
very
thank you.
nice. Very
think
nice slideshow.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of graphics. Yeah, tons.
Maybe I'll learn how to do that one of these days.
Yeah, it's easy, well, you guys would be doing it on PowerPoint.
It looks
May I
like
ask a question?
Yeah. Who's
I
asking?
unmuted finally.
Why don't we wait till everybody comes
Yeah,
in?
is it
Alrighty,
a
Lynn.
question about what we said?
It's a question about the building.
Well, I think you should wait till
Hang
everyone's
on
in.
to that. Because we're going to hear about the hopes and fears, then we'll do all the individual questions.
I just have to start this all up by giving a comedy moment from
ahead. Go ahead,
okay.
Heike. What's your comedy moment?
Oh God, Greenfield. I'm like blanking.
No.
What's her first name? Her. Anyway, she came on and like because people were getting bopped in and out, she came on just as you were sharing the Japanese. Sandy, thank you. Sandy was like, I came on only when Lynn was sharing the Japanese metaphor, and she thought we were like, she knew what was going on. So she came into my room.
Oh, so she
I think you thought we were possibly moving to Japan. But anyway, I just had a moment because that made my night.
Hey, Janet,
There you are, Sandy. I thought I saw her come in. All right, bye. That's my little comic.
Okay. So, can one of the groups tell? We're going to go through. We want to hear the hopes and fears, and if you have a question in there, we'll address it within the hopes and fears. Go ahead. How about group one? Do we want to go in order? Okay, group one. We're kicking you up. Hi, Susan.
All right, Josh.
One of the big questions that we brought up was how's the accessibility to the second floor, like for our folks that can't walk very far or wheelchair bound.
So this is all, of course, these conversations about the second floor are premature. The Sons of Italy would love for this to move forward. They want us to stay in this building. They want us to renovate the second floor. They want to help us however they can. I do have a friend that works in the business, and I brought him in and he looked at the whole second floor. He said that our biggest things are going to be HVAC and egress and putting in an elevator. He recommended an outdoor elevator. So it's not something we would use daily, but we could absolutely use for high holidays or special events, which is less expensive. He gave a rough estimate of between $200,000 and $300,000 for this renovation. Again, we don't know.
Not for us,
premature. But when he's in this business of exactly transforming old out-of-date buildings, and when he saw the space, he said, "There's unbelievable possibility here for this to be a spectacular."
Right,
space.
and there's bathrooms up there too.
We do want to say if we get to this point,
right,
where this is a serious plan, we will make sure that this is accessible because that is in our mandate.
Right,
that's our philosophy.
We would never expand and not have it be accessible. So that's absolutely.
Thank you. That was a hope or fear kind of. Okay, what else did group one have? Anything else?
Just making sure that we keep our Dark Noam way, not necessarily going towards reform, because
Right.
that was one of the KA is a reform synagogue, so that was a big concern.
Great
Okay.
question. So at the first conversation that we had with the Colmy co-presidents, we said, you know, we are committed to staying unaffiliated, post-denominational, meeting Jews where they are from all walks of life, and that would be non-negotiable for us. And they right away said, we're happy to let go of the reform movement. They don't feel that is really, they're gaining a
What
huge
they're
benefit
about.
from that, and they understand that that's one of our non-negotiables.
Right.
So they are attached to their prayer book. We have to see what those conversations look like.
Right.
We are very attached to our prayer book, and
I told them
so,
that's,
you know, these are conversations that would need to happen throughout the year. Are there different services using different prayer books? Are we writing our own prayer book? Are we doing a new, right? We don't know. We don't know. But in terms of affiliating, we will not be affiliating with any of the movements.
no, and that was in our very first discussion when Rabbi Danielle and I were there. That was the very first thing we said. You know, that's a no-go. So they're looking to evolve like we're looking to evolve, and we don't want to evolve to reform. So everybody put that out of your head. It's not there. And we would never do that because we would never change what Dark Noam is about. So just feel comfortable with that. Okay, what was another one? Yeah, Josh. Anything else?
I think that was it. I think it was the two main things we talked about.
Okay. How about group 2?
I believe that was our group. So we had a lovely conversation. Nothing negative was brought up. A few questions, the second floor issue, and also cemetery. Does KA have a cemetery? DN does not. And just Doug Dinwiddie, I read your notes in the chat. Just not to get confused. So this is not KI.
Right.
This is not Knesset Israel in Elkins Park. This is KA, a very small shul that was renting space elsewhere. They don't even have a building right now.
Right.
So just to clarify, this is Kol Ami.
Yeah.
They sold their building 2 years ago and have been renting space from Beth Shalom.
Yeah, and so they developed a lot of their finances. They sold 2 properties because they had one that they weren't allowed to use. So that's kind of how they kind of built up their financial system.
Yeah, I don't know
Do
why
we
I put
have
KI. I had it written down as KI. My mistake.
Okay.
Sorry.
Anything else, Amy, that
So do we know anything about cemetery? That was
So
just
they don't
one
have,
thing.
as far as I know, they don't have a cemetery. We don't have a cemetery. I will say that we have been approached by the new cemetery, the cemetery that's on Stenton Avenue. I can't remember the name, has approached us about starting a Dar Chinoam cemetery potentially, or having a section. So, you know, if we have more bandwidth and we have more engagement and we have people that are more interested,
Yeah,
then that's
people wanna
absolutely
do that, we
something. If
can
that's a
do it.
value that we want to prioritize and we have a committee that's committed to it, I think
yeah, we'll go
so
for it.
beautiful,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So.
How about group 3? Group 3.
Lynn, I just want to point out some of the group notes are in the chat,
Oh, okay.
but I don't think 3 is in there. I'm just looking.
Okay.
If you make the notes in the breakouts, they don't go to the other
Right.
room.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't.
You have to copy and paste them.
Right.
The Zoom weirdness.
Right. Okay. So, group 3. Does group 3? Anybody from group 3 kind of tell us anything? I know you're out there, group 3. We had 10 of you.
I was hoping that Emily, who is part of the leadership, would pipe in.
Oh, where's Emily? I don't even.
Emily had to hop off.
She had a family commitment.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that I guess I'll speak, but the good news is it wasn't all negative, and I'm the only negative person in that group. And other people,
We love you, Joni. Tell it how it is.
Other people were more encouraged than I am, because I am concerned about moving toward reform. But you're telling me that's not going to happen, so I can trust you.
Yeah, throw that away. Yeah.
Yeah, there are issues that but other people were excited about, co-sharing and eventually merging, and that there were good things to be said about that. But there are specific issues about scheduling. I know that we're if they're having high holiday services elsewhere, that's fine, but we still need to make sure that our scheduling of services isn't going to be imposed upon, because if we're invited to all their events and they're invited to all our events, then there's the issue of overcrowding or not having enough space and having members blocked because people in the other group are taking up space. So
I'm going to answer that, Jen.
Lynn, can I
Hazan wants
answer?
to. Hazan wants to.
I'd like to answer that. Rabbi Danielle and I have put together a calendar for next year, and that is the calendar that we will use. And we have made sure that we have our, Friday night or Saturday morning covered for our services. We have the B'nai Mitzvah Friday nights all in there. We have some special Shabbatot for various reasons for the class services, all that kind of thing. That is the first calendar. It is our building, and we are the hosts. And we get first dibs on space use. But we feel that, we're able to still be flexible enough that Kol Ami will have lots of opportunities. And we don't do every Friday night. And even when we do, as long as it's, you heard this, it's not a special program or dinner, they can have services on the same night as us. Saturday mornings, Reform does not have as strong a Shabbat morning culture. So I think that they, the people who are part of a Shabbat morning can certainly join us. And if we don't have a service, why should the space be left empty? They can come and use it then, and our building will get, much more use. So I don't feel we're going to lose anything in terms of the calendar. I think we have the first rights to whatever happens in the building. Does that reassure you?
Yes, and I think knowing about this second space and possible renovations because they're giving us money for rent, that I think is very exciting. But once we merge, if we merge, then the question is, do we lose a lot of revenue because of our game plan is pay what you can?
Joni, let me clear that up for you. The money that we're getting for them renting is different than the money we would be getting.
And it's not a rental. It's not a rental. They're really becoming members of our community, reciprocity.
But trust me when I tell you, because you don't know the amount of money we can't just give out how much money they have. But let me say that the renovation would basically be coming from their money if we go ahead with it. If we go
and that's what I'm assuming. But that's with the rental type agreement. Once we have, if we have merged congregations, the pricing plan is different because our model is pay what you can, and this is what's suggested.
So are they. They have the same model, but just to give you a heads up, we're kind of going to be pushing people a little bit more, because I know everybody wants to pay as you whatever you want, but we have something like 60% of our congregation is not paying what we asked for, which puts a stress on us, just so you know. And
they also said that they like their prayer books. Will they be bringing their prayer books in for their services and then taking them home?
No, we'll have a place where they can keep them for their service.
Could I just answer Marlene's question in the chat, because it's related? She wants to know how we would get to know each other if we're holding separate services, which is a valid question. But we have already, Rabbi Danielle and I have already scheduled a number of services or programs called Shabbat B'Yachad, which is Shabbat together. And those will be opportunities for both congregations to come together, possibly over a meal and with a service involved. And so that'll give us a start in getting to know each other.
Yes, and let me say one thing. For those that are worried about, there won't be room. I come every Saturday that we have a service. I'm here every Friday night we have a service. And unfortunately, and Steve Sachs is here. He's with me every Saturday when we have it. And Steve will agree that if we have 10 people, we're thrilled. Our people are not rushing to services. We would hope they will. And so that's not going to be a major issue either right now.
I wasn't talking about a space in seats during services. I was talking about infrastructure space to include our prayer books, their prayer books, and then if they join us, they're going to be using our prayer books because supposedly we're not changing. So those are there's good vibes and also concerns in group 3. I'm going to shut up because I actually have a hard stop in 4 minutes.
Okay.
So I have to drop off.
Okay.
But thank you very much for the transparency. I appreciate it.
Group 4. How about group 4? What were some stuff you had? Group 4. Somebody from group 4. Who's volunteering? Come on.
Is that our group? I don't know what my group is. I'm
Oh.
Violet. I think that might be my group.
Well, then just, Violet, just give us what you got.
Okay, well, Margaret is in on this too because she's on my phone.
Okay.
We were talking mostly about space and, you know, but listening to this conversation, I'm just wondering, on the high holidays and on other holidays, how will that work with the services?
This high holiday, we're having ours and they're having theirs. If we're moving towards a blended thing, then we're looking at using the upstairs for that. It's giant.
Is it appropriate enough? Is it enough?
It's
comfortable?
giant.
Yeah, but space is one thing and comfort is another.
Well, you're going to be in
I
the
mean, is it
stairs.
We really don't know what the high holidays next year looks like, to be honest.
But
We
we're
really
in-
don't know. This year, we are having high holidays at Darchei Noam. We are actually not going to have people register. We're going to use the lobby and set up the TV as an overflow space. So everyone who wants to come in person this year will be able to.
Right.
And we're going to have to see how this evolves. You know, we don't know if the renovation's not due. If we decide to move forward with this co-creation and the renovation's not ready, we may have to rent space or we may have to go back to registering for holidays. These are such good questions and so much of it has to be figured out.
Right.
Thanks, Violet.
Okay. Any
But
others, Violet?
comfort, I promise you the chairs that they're bringing are so much more comfortable than what we
So
have
much
right
better than ours. Yeah. Yes, you're all going to be happy with the chairs. Okay, group 5 or how about any of the, yeah, go ahead.
So we were in group 5, there was a lot of optimism, and we especially like the fact that even after 10 months, you're moving forward cautiously. That's the right way to do it. And we like that. A lot of the questions that have been voiced already were questions raised in our group. The question Josh raised about, whether we, the whole reform thing, although my mother tells me reform people are highly evolved. My 95-year-old mother assures me of that. We had questions about the high holidays, which you've answered. We had questions about the numbers, which I just saw we got in the chat. A lot of people feel that this makes sense financially. There were questions about the dues, which it looks like, Lynn, you've also answered. So we'll look for that. The one question I wanted to raise was if we're going to have more programming, hello 2024, that it's going to be increased security costs.
Oh, that's, yeah, that was kind of built into how Neil figured out what to charge them. But with programming stuff, that was a bit, so they know they're going to be paying for security and our new maintenance person. So that whenever they have a program, they pay for security and maintenance, and they have no problem.
So you've thought of that. And just the last thing I wanted to add, which I didn't bring up in the group, but I had brought up in the chat, is I've been to other synagogues. Obviously, if you create something new, you create something new. But I've also, which is different than just having a merger, but I've been to other synagogues where there are just different minions. And, there's this minion and if you ask them the difference between the minions, you would never understand it anyway. But they like, go into like, you have to go back 6 years and the 3 people that davened together that didn't like the other 3 people. Anyway, so it's always like that. So, there's always the possibility that if that whatever works in collaboration works, but then if there's a part of people that still want a separate minion, that's also a possibility.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's weird or,
No.
a problem.
But
So
I will
just wanted
tell
to say
you
that.
a little
Thanks so much,
surprise.
Laura.
Yeah, I want to tell you a little surprise, Laura. We didn't even know this. Bean, who leads one of our minion here, she's actually like an officer in their leadership group. We didn't even know, because aren't you all surprised how quiet we kept this? I mean, everything was of the utmost secrecy. Every single email had confidential on it, and so Bean didn't know that we knew, and we didn't know that she knew, but she leads one of our minions.
Amazing.
She's from there, so she'll continue to lead the minion.
You guys could be, you Omerta. You totally practice Omerta. That's great.
It's really, it was an amazing thing, because I can't tell you how much time people put into this, because
I think it comes across.
Yeah, it was the people sacrifice. I mean, we had so many meetings, long meetings, and meeting with people,
And there will be many more to come.
many more. But we want,
We don't have all the answers. That's why we're slow rolling
right
this whole process.
And the
Let's
thing
go to the next group, I think, because
Yeah.
we have a hard stop at 8 for me.
Yeah, okay, right. Go ahead, next group.
I think we're up to 6.
Mhm.
6? Okay. I think most of the questions actually were pretty much already answered. Nobody was negative. Everybody is curious. Everybody just wants to know how the logistics of how this is going to work. Is the parking lot going to be big enough? Is there, when we do space, talked about space usage. If we're together, are we going to be able to have enough spaces in the parking lot? And I don't see that as a problem at all. I think the other thing was, the question was, are we allowed to sublet our space? And we're not subletting our space. They're soaking themselves into us, and we're subletting our time, actually. So it's not like they're paying and getting a separate lease arrangement.
Right. There's none of that.
We're offering them membership, really, is what we're doing. And they're offering us membership. And the Sons of Italy want us to stay in the building, and they want us to expand.
Yeah.
And they want us to stay until they can eventually sell us the building. If that's a possibility, we would have the right of first refusal. They wouldn't charge us rent for whatever the rental. They've been very excited about this possibility. So
that's the biggest concern, is space. We talked about Rosh Hashanah, and I explained how that was going to work.
Right.
That the biggest concern is what second floor, what's up there? Is it inhabitable? Are we going to fall through the raft? What do we got?
No,
it has to be gutted. It has to be gutted.
Yeah,
completely.
except for the floor, because I'm an
use.
HGTV person, and I said, look at this floor. It's like in pristine shape. And the contractor said the same thing. Yeah, it would be
has to be gutted, and it is a lot of money. And I don't know, to be honest with you, I don't know that they could do it all within a time frame of prior to next Yom Kippur, and high holidays. I don't think it could be done that fast, because first of all, we have to agree this is what we're going to do. We don't know. No, there's a lot to work out. They're all valid questions, and everybody's concerned about space usage and all the same things. And I think that you've answered them very nicely.
Right. And the thing is, as our school continues to grow, if we are able to expand, we'll be able to use up there too. So we're a growing synagogue. There's no question.
It's a great location, and I think we all would like to stay there.
Yes.
In that location.
We love Ambler. We're committed to Ambler. Ambler has been wonderful to us.
Ambler's committed to us, very much so.
The Colony people said the same thing. In fact, their co-president lives in Bluebell.
That's right.
Lynn
Jody has her hand up.
Jody has her hand up.
Go ahead, Jody. And then we'll go to the next group. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I was in group 6, so I figured I'd wait
Okay.
and see.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you, Jody.
Oh, hi. Yeah, thank you. So you mentioned something about them bringing chairs. Are there other building materials that they're bringing besides chairs, Torahs or pulpits? Like, what else are they bringing with?
Their Torah reading table is like on the magnificent end.
Yeah, and they would have Torahs. We have to work that out to figure out.
Yeah,
They have things,
yeah.
but it's not a guarantee that we're accepting everything. So we have
Right.
to be strategic about
Yeah,
that.
we talk because they're willing to store a lot of their stuff because we're not, we haven't made that second year, but they definitely will bring the Torah table and
And the chairs.
the chairs. And Elaine, who kind of does their she's like their executive director. She does all their scheduling and everything. She and Emily know each other quite well. And Nancy will be in with it. So that whole calendar thing, they're going to work together and it won't be an issue at all between the three of them. So that part will, yeah. So we get to kind of say, no, that won't fit. We do believe they have a memorial board that kind of stands by itself and is closed. And then when they have they open it up. So we think that we will make room for that. Because it wouldn't be right, not to.
Other questions, Jody, from your group?
Yeah, you right, Jody? Did your group have any other kind of questions?
No, I think the rest of them have already been addressed.
Okay, that's what we yeah, it shows
Yeah,
that most people
you
have
said the chairs and it made me think of something else. So
yeah, that's cool.
So good
Okay,
to see you. Thank you.
how about group 7 in there?
I know there were some notes in the chat from.
Okay, group 7 while the Rabbi Danielle's looking in the chat.
I mean, I read the notes unless anybody else wants to pipe in the group. I think headline is that we had questions about details, some uncertainty about little things here and there and all this sort of stuff. But generally speaking, like the strategy makes sense, right? We took a vote. I don't know that the vote is binding in any way, shape, or form, but took a vote of like, are we supportive of this? And the general thing was yes. Obviously, we want to know more.
Right.
We have questions, we have concerns, we have thoughts, but like this is a strategy that makes sense. This is a thing where we want to move forward and keep as much of our character as possible. Obviously, some things will probably have to change. I don't think we know what those are yet. We don't want to give away things that are too valuable to ourselves, but we may need to make compromises here and there on things that aren't as valuable. But yeah, we want to keep who we are, interested to meet these folks. We noticed at one point that we kept saying the word they a lot. And then we realized at a certain point we might have to stop saying they and start saying, we or us or, and stop treating them like others. But I don't know, we got to meet them first. But healthy skepticism, but optimism.
I want to tell you, Doug, too, because a lot of people don't come to services, they've been to quite a few of our services, groups of them, 4 or 5. And we just say, hi, how you doing? And because no one really knows who are members and who aren't really. So, but they've been, and they said what they said about our synagogue, which is something that we will never, ever change, is we are a very welcoming, compassionate kind of group. And the discussion that the leadership team had the whole time was, we've developed a culture that we think is so important in how people interact and how we are, and that we don't want to change. That's something we wouldn't change. And what we found out is that's a lot of values that they hold, and that also we have a bigger bulk of people than they do. So
I was wondering, Lynn, it came up at the meeting. It's Violet.
I'm sorry.
We were wondering what the age group is like. Is it similar to ours? Because they don't have fewer children in the school, but this might be a much older population.
Great question. I mean, all the people that we've met from their leadership team, I'd say are anywhere from 50 to 75, maybe, would you say? 50 to 80 years old. I'd say in that range. There was one of their co-presidents is
younger,
probably late 30s or early 40s. So I don't know. I think that's a great question, but I think they're diverse. They do have some young families, but they don't feel that staying in Elkins Park is sustainable because a lot of young Jewish families that are not Orthodox or do not tend to be moving into the Elkins Park corridor
Right.
right now.
So that's kind of, yeah.
But it's a great question, but they have a few Shabbat goers. And I think it could be, if we could add 10 more people to our Shabbat culture, right now we have about 30 or so people on Saturday morning. If we could have 50 people on Shabbos, how happy would Hazan and I be?
And the other thing is their group they're very socially focused. Like a lot of what they do is out in the community. And we met their people from their inclusion group, and they're very into like, can we have this here? Is there anything, you're going to tell us, oh, we can't do this? That they were concerned, is your community as diverse,
heart-centered? Is your community heart-centered? And is it looking to do tikkun olam? And
and it was
it's great. They have so many initiatives. They also do a lot of personal enrichment. They have a casino night that they've done every year. So I thought
which we knew Gloria would
So they have a book club. They bring in lecturers. So it's just, I think that many of our members will benefit from the diverse programming as well.
Yeah.
And I think we should go to the next group.
Yes. Okay. So we did 7, right? 8.
I can speak for group 8. So kind of hard after everybody else spoke, but I think
thanks, Marlene.
The gist of it is that we're definitely positive. There are some concerns, like everyone else mentioned, about the logistics. I think, Doug, you spoke very well. On the whole, I think any opportunity to grow a synagogue and to have more people participating in events and committees and volunteering, that's all good. So I guess it's just, it's in the details of how it works in terms of the space. Because, we've belonged to Darkei Noam for the last 2 years. And, I love things like Shabbat dinners, but it's really hard when you cram 35 people in the lobby. And then when you try for the summer in the parking lot and it rains.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Rabbi Danielle, would you address what your thoughts are about the dinners and the maintenance? Remember, you had thoughts on that we can make
well, part of the idea was if we have the financial wherewithal that we could transform our sanctuary, have a dinner in there, and if we had maintenance staff that could quickly transform it, so that would double our space that we could have dinner.
Yeah.
We could also be creative. We could experiment with having, a dinner, Shabbat at in more of like a restaurant style. I don't think that's something we do all the time, but we could experiment with different options if we had if we don't want to fatigue our engagement committee. So if we had more volunteers and also maintenance staff to support that, I think we could be creative in the meantime. Amy Pullis. Oh, did you have anything else, Marlene?
No. We're in general, I mean, to me, like I said, I just think it's 98% positive. It's the logistics are challenging, but
we'll make it.
Yeah.
Go for
it. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
The details are always the hard part, and we don't have any illusion about that. It will be challenging, but we hope we can rise to the occasion.
Yeah, we think creativity. Yeah. Creative.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on Marlene's point. So we also talked about, for one of the last big events, I rented round top tables, which was about $300 with delivery and all that. But if we purchase round top tables and possibly get a shed for storage outside, we can easily, if we have a maintenance cleaning staff, push chairs to one side in the sanctuary, get our round tops in there that we purchased. They're beautiful. We have table coverings and easily do a Shabbat dinner, Marlene, instead of in the lobby.
Yeah.
We have maintenance. We have the round tops at our place.
And new chairs.
And new chairs with maintenance setting it up instead of, us and the Hortons and the Jacobs.
Right.
We just have a beautiful Shabbat dinner right in the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Is the key.
Can you hear that song?
Yeah, that's and we will have a June 10th 6 round tables, just so you know. We get Melrose gave them Melrose B'nai
Israel's donating us tables as well.
They also gave us a Torah too and some folding chairs. So between what we would have from Call Me and that we'll be in good shape for kind of things. Yeah.
Group 9, Marlene, you were group 8?
8,
Yes.
yes, who,
Okay,
9?
Just
group
a reminder,
9.
we
And
have
here comes
less than 15 minutes until Minion, so
we
please.
And we have
got
a bunch of
it.
questions in the
Okay,
chat as
Group
well.
Group 9 had basically the same questions that we've had from the other 8. If somebody else wants to add something, that's fine, but I want to just mention one thing. My wife at one time was the facilities coordinator at Rhoda Shalom, both buildings. One of
Where
the rabbis,
Rabbi Poling came from. Is that what you're saying?
and
Yeah.
Elliot Holland is fantastic, and he's the one that started Kolami.
Oh, okay,
He's
yeah.
a great teacher. He's a
Yes.
wonderful person. Ruth and I knew him quite well when he was at Rhoda Shalom. And after Ruth passed away, he wrote to me. He's just fantastic. And so I remember actually when that synagogue got started, when Elliot Holland started it.
Yes.
And just having him join us to do education and some other things. And I know that Rabbi Danielle will very much enjoy working with Elliot.
I love him. We've had lunch a few times. It was a total soul connection. I think he can offer beautiful mentorship and has so much to offer to me and to all of our congregants. And I think we'll continue to provide pastoral care to expand on that as well. Thank you so much, Steve. There's a bunch. I know there's many people I think who are connected to Rabbi Holland.
Right. And one other thing that I wanted to mention is there was one Shabbat morning that I came and I was greeted by one of the Kolami co-presidents. And they were there and they had the honor of opening the Ark.
Yeah.
And they did participate in the service quite a bit. So I thought it was lovely.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Steve.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you
Group
so much.
10, our last group. Where's group 10?
Group 10 is my group. This is
Oh.
Heike. Hi, everybody. And I'm so glad I get a chance to talk because I'm getting all these texts on the side. So let me talk on behalf of the Shul School and what this looks for the Shul School, because that's a big question, right? Where are we putting them? Where have we put them? How beautiful is it that we use every crevice and we do it so well, and our Shul School is the best. Our teachers are the best. Our kids are so happy, and that's not going to change. And I will say this here, and I will stand behind it. I know space is limited, and before Kolami even was a thought in our mind, Rabbi Danielle and I had this discussion last year and the year before. We will never sacrifice the quality of our program for numbers. Okay, so like we know how much space we have, and we don't deny anyone an education. And now that we have these extra resources, we're just hoping to build up, literally out over whatever we need to do. But I will say that we're not going to crowd classrooms, and your kids are not going to be put on top of each other to sacrifice anything we've built that's amazing. So I will put everyone at ease with that. We will keep our numbers safe. We will keep our numbers working the way they have been, and how great your kids can meet other Jewish kids if we have some of these kids come over. So I just want to ease everyone with that. And maybe they'll even bring some extra like Xerox paper. That could be great. So that's the first thing, Shul School. I am still the Shul School director. You're not getting rid of me. All of our teachers are with us. And you can't get better than us. So they are so lucky at Kolami that they can even come to us in this amazing place. Just a little bit of my background with this place. I have spent the last weekend being a therapist for my mother-in-law, Meryl Salkin, who is a very active member of Kolami. So I have asked Kolami to reimburse me for therapy that I have been dealing with her. She loves the rabbi there, and she's very connected, and she's having a hard time because for them it's a grief, it's a mourning of something that they had and they're losing. But she's also knows where I go and how much I love my community, and has come with me on second day Rosh Hashanah and sees how amazing we are as well. I also want to bring this to everyone's attention too. One of the first things that was brought up was everyone there treated well, right? Like their staff and everybody there. And this is really important. A lot of us left another place because we didn't like what was happening. We didn't like the culture. We didn't like the way people were treated as human beings, as whatever that looked like. And I want to make you understand that our committee, and I'm so proud to say this, one of the first questions was, is your rabbi or whoever is no longer going to be working at Kolami, was this person taken care of before we get in any agreements? And I want to say that they are honoring her contract and they are paying her accordingly, and also giving her the time she needs to go look for other other jobs in a very timely fashion that's important to someone who's clergy around this time for high holidays. So I want to make that clear that that was one of our schul's first question is, great, money, this and that. Let's talk about who you are and what you did, because we know what that feels like, some of us. We know what that yucky feeling feels like, and we don't want that. So that was one of the first things. My group was so positive. One of the things is I just hope our schul's welcoming. And then we got into and I said, of course they will be, but everyone's hard with change. Sometimes we brought that up in our group. And we kind of got in the discussion, if you look at the news today and everything that's happening everywhere, how can we not accept other Jewish people who need a home? How can we not invite people in? Because we are so small and we are all needing each other that we can't be the ones not to say, come in. Too many others are doing that. So yes, we're going to say, come in. We're going to do one of the biggest mitzvot. And we're also going to benefit in so many ways from each other. And so that's one of the things I wanted to point out as well. And one of my other jobs in my list of 400 was I used to go around to synagogues and teach preschool Hebrew. These shuls are huge. And if I tell you, they're also struggling, right? These ridiculously huge synagogues. People are talking about mergers. There's lots of people moving around and doing that too. The truth is the Jewish community needs each other. And so I look at this as a broader kind of beauty and kind of like building two communities together where we need each other. I think everything else was pretty mentioned with everybody else. The only thing I want to say is I was married by Rabbi Holin under the chuppah at TBI with Rabbi David Ackerman. So when everybody wants to get off and have a Jewish geography session of how we all probably know somebody at Kolami, how they were at someone's bar bat mitzvah table and went there for Shabbat or USY, we can do that another time. But we're all connected. We might use a different siddur, right? We might do things a little differently. We're all Jews, and there isn't a better time and a more important time to do this. So thank you for people who are asking the questions. We want your questions. We still have questions. We're still figuring it out. But thank you for joining us for this journey. It's been very thought out, and we have tried so hard to make this nothing but positive for all of us.
Yeah. And oh yeah, Leave Shalom. We are continuing to use that siddur. And good news, Melrose is giving us their Leave Shalom. So we'll have plenty of them if we get a lot of people to services, because we're getting Leave Shalom from them. And I want to say, because we're getting ready to wrap up to go to Minyan, is that we will have as many meetings and dialogues with you as we go through this as you want. I mean, that's what the group's about. And we're not going to just have this meeting and you won't hear from us again. And we'll create some, we have to work and create where we can have maybe something in the synagogue, and we can hybrid it, or whatever. We'll come up with whatever you need. And we'll continue to let you know everything. And as we're working it out the same way you are, but I can absolutely guarantee you, Darkei Noam's spirit and personality and culture will remain. It's not going away.
Excuse me, Lynn. I
Yep.
did not hold the prayer book up
Oh,
to ask about that. It was as a reminder.
Oh,
that Minyan starts in 6 minutes.
yeah, okay.
It's on the same link, and we will
Oh, so we can
we'll
just stay
start
right here?
promptly. Yes, stay here. This is the Minyan
Susan
link.
Reese is leading Minyan tonight. We need our, and
Please stay on if you can, because we would love to have a full Minyan.
Yeah, we
Okay,
need
I'm
to-
staying.
Spend more time together.
okay, and we have, okay, it's set,
There,
it's,
I looked through Lynn, I looked through all the chat questions. I think we answered almost everything.
okay.
Hermine, first of all, if you have background in commercial real estate, thank you. We'd love to have your input, and 3 estimates. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And then Magliaries and Roses had questions about what's the difference between merger and blending. And first of all, it's still premature. We really
Right.
we don't know. That's part of why there were so
Right.
many conversations, is because we didn't want to dive into this, and we finally decided that this needs to be so measured, and we need to think through
Right.
every last detail to see if we really want to join forces or not. And so that's why we're taking this year to engage more people in that conversation.
Yeah.
What I see as the difference is that, look, Darkei Noam started like overnight, and we blew up. I wrote a mission statement. I like it, but I wrote it in 2 seconds. It kind of just flew out of me. I didn't know what we were going to be. We now have 3 years under our belt. This is an opportunity to really look and see who are we and what is our mission and what is our vision. And now we might have 50 to 100 more family members that are also invested in who are we? What do we want to build? What is this community that we dreamed of that was going to be innovative, that was going to be boundary breaking, that was going to be grounded in kindness and love and compassion and curiosity? What does that look like? And so if we co-create, it likely would be a new mission and vision statement. It could be a new name. We don't know. It could be a new logo. We don't know. It could be a new prayer book. We don't know, right? But the core values of Darkei Noam, of being barrier-free, of being profoundly inclusive, of being unaffiliated, of being grounded in kindness and Torah, right? Of being grounded and anchored in the tradition and yet forward-thinking and innovative, those things are going to remain for sure. For sure.
Absolutely.
But we're still trying to figure all of that out. We want your input. So may it be for great blessing. May it be for expansive good. May it bring healing to the world. And thank you all so much for being here tonight.
means a
Huge
lot,
extra co to Lynn Krause, who put together all of those slides.
Oh, thank
Who's
you.
been spearheading all of this, who has had so many nitty-gritty conversations, done it all with a smile and joyful and laughing and positive, and just as everyone's cheerleader. So thank you, Lynn. We so appreciate your leadership.
I would like to remind everyone, besides Minion tonight, we have a Israel program at 6:30 tomorrow, and that will followed by a special expanded Minion celebrating Israel's Yom Ha'atzmaut. So we're really looking for people to attend tomorrow night as well. And Shabbat morning, 10 o'clock, we have a contemplative service. So, if you feel all stressed about this, if you feel at all stressed, come to that, get your blood pressure down, really, find where you are at this moment, and you'll find the healing.
And after the contemplative service, we'll be serving our bagels and schmear, as people are becoming to our services know that's what we serve now: coffee, tea, bagels. Feel free. We hope to see you there.
Thanks so much. The Minion link for tomorrow night for the Yom Ha'atzmaut expanded Minion is the regular Minion link. It's a different link than the program.
Yeah, the program Zoom, right?
But today, just stay on if you're going to
stay
Minion.
on if you would like to be on Minions.
Yeah, anybody who's staying for Minion, just stay on. Okay.
All right, Susan, we'll see what we've got in a minute.
Yeah, and if anybody wants a little copy of our presentation, we can send it to you.
I hope I'm not.
And Lynn, there were a bunch of people that wanted to get on who couldn't. So if you can send them, I can send you some links, but I'm sorry, the dog is barking now.
Yeah, but
absolutely
no
no.
problem.
I think we should
I'm
send out a
actually-
recording to the whole congregation, actually.
Yeah, Lynn will send it to me,
But
and I will send it out to everyone. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Nancy. I'm sorry, of course.
Yeah, but
No problem.
I think we should. I'll meet with them on Zoom.
Okay, so Lynn,
Yeah.
as soon as you're
Is it time to
able,
start?
as soon as that completes, if you could just send it over to me
yeah,
so I can get it out.
Oh yeah, I have to stop the recording. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you
too.
Otherwise, you're going to record Minion.
Okay, I forget how to do it.
All right, we would like to ask on behalf of Susan Reese, please mute yourselves.
Wait,
Susan will be starting on page 264 in a moment.